I have a big update, and it's probably one that people are expecting and one that people who support me should be really excited about, but bear with me. Over the past 3 and a bit years, I have competed 26 times internationally as a professional. I've won 15 of those competitions, and I've hit the podium 24 of those 26 times. Over the course of that span, the longest off season I've had is really about 4 weeks. This is in a 3 month gap between the Rogue Invitational and Arnold Strongman Classic in both 2023 and 2024. And a 4 week off season into 12-week preps into 11 months of the year competing has been an incredible test of my feat of endurance. It's been a great personal challenge of mine, but it's been over 3 years where my life has been lived in weeks at a time. And it's largely unsustainable to be able to do that. And I think this is what's happening. Now, if I go over my results as of late, if we go back to the Rogue Invitational last year when I was going to defend my title, I won the show, but I wasn't sharp. I wasn't as good as I could be. I didn't execute as well as I normally do. And I wasn't entirely happy with my performance, but I ended up on top. At the Arnold this year, the same thing happened. I struggled to clean a 195 kilo log. That is not normal for a professional strongman. That's weird. I ended up winning the show regardless, but I was not my best. I was my strongest, but I was not my best. Going to the World's Strongest Man finals this year, I was just not good. I came third. I was not happy with that. I was not near as good as I was in prep, and obvious life circumstances as well. And the Strongman Classic, things have come to a head. I came seventh and broke my podium streak of 24 in a row. Reason for that is multifactorial. One, nothing went my way. Two, I have an injured bicep. In a small way, a minor muscle belly tear. I've got an injured back, I've got sciatica going down my left leg, and I got my left knee not cooperating. All of these things mean that in my strongman career, I'm tending to get much stronger, but I'm tending to get less athletic. And in that, I'm losing my biggest strength and my biggest asset, which is my athleticism and my ability to recover. But in prepping for show after show after show, which over the course of the last 3 weeks, my average competition time or average preparation time, average time between events, is 45 days. So about 6.5 weeks. Every 6.5 weeks, I have a show. As you can imagine, it's hard to be able to prepare generally to be a good athlete, to be a good strongman, and prepare specifically for the show. You can't really do that at the same time. And even Giants live shows, where I say I didn't prepare, I didn't peek into them, but you have to do the events to be able to ensure that you're not going to hurt yourself just trying. And so 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, I always had a certain number of weeks until I was ready to go into a show. Added with the pressure of every show that I was at, I was expected to win, podium, etc. And so it's time for a bit of a reset. It's time to think about what is the path forward. And I've come to a conclusion that I'm really excited about, I'm really positive about. And the era of my career where I can compete at absolutely everything, that is running me into a wall where I'm gonna have to stop competing in the next year to year and a half because my body's just gonna break down. I'm gonna fall out of love with the sport. I'm just not gonna enjoy myself. And if you don't enjoy yourself, you're not going to execute well. You're not gonna wanna perform. You're not gonna wanna train hard. And so I'm now treating my career in two phases, and phase one is over. So I am retired from competing at everything under the sun. But the good news is I see an opportunity to be one of the greatest of all time. I have 3 Arnold Strongman Classic titles. I have a World's Strongest Man title. I have 2 Rogue Invitational titles, and I have a Strongest Man on Earth title for 7 major titles. I think if I play my cards right, this number could be well into the teens, if not into the 20s. But I just have to be a bit more careful and intentional. On top of this, the deadlift world record is something that I am incredibly excited to attempt, to break, to hold at one point in my career. But I don't think I could do this if I just go and go and go and go. So phase 2 of the career is going to be, let's be selective, let's win the biggest shows, and let's turn up to those shows absolutely unbeatable. The exciting thing is nobody has seen me on a full prep. Nobody has seen me fully rested. Nobody has seen me be able to give intention to every single show. I've never lost an Arnold Strongman Classic, and those have been the longest preps I've been able to have. I also had to prep for World's Strongest Man at the same time because they're relatively close. but I had 12 weeks to prepare for those, and I've never lost. And that is the approach I'm going to take moving forward. Every show is going to be big. Every show is going to be meaningful. Every show is going to be a major title that I'm vying for. Now, it doesn't mean I'm never going to do Giants Live. Absolutely not. But it does mean that I have to be a lot more selective. And I think that's what people ultimately want. Turn up to World's Strongest Man and win. Turn up to the Arnold Strongman Classic and win. Now, exactly what shows these are to be determined. But this is where I'm at the moment. Now, a natural byproduct of this is right now, I've got these little niggles. Could I continue and could I push forward and perform at Strongest Man on Earth? Maybe. But based on recent history, I'm going to turn up as a shell of myself, half injured, and likely turn something into a catastrophic injury that could end my career or certainly set me back a number of weeks, months, years. So I'm going to have to pull out of the Strongest Man on Earth. This is the first time I've ever done this in my career. It doesn't make me happy to do it, but it makes me happy for myself because I know that it's the right decision. I will still be at that show. We have an LHBK booth there. Any sort of involvement I can have to support the athletes, I will do. But this is going to be a time when I take a step back and I let my body repair, recover. I get back to some fitness, I get back to some running, I get back to playing some other sports to make sure that I am athletic when I go back to being as strong as I possibly can be. What this holds for deadlift world record, I'm also going to have to pull out of this for this year. This is probably the hardest one for me because the record does mean a lot. But it's going to be something that I attack next year, and I attack in a more systematic way. I think if you put 505 kilos on the bar 2 weeks out from World's Strongest Man, I would have been able to pull it. I know that I can, and I know that it's there, and I'm not that far removed from that physical capacity. So I just need to repair, recover, rest, and get back to that physical capacity. And I don't believe that I am ever at my limit, that you've ever seen me at the best I could be, but I need to treat myself differently to become the best I could be. I am maybe 6 years into my strongman career in total. That is not peak. I'm 29 years old. That is not peak. I expect to peak around 32. I expect to peak around 8 years experience in the sport, 9 years experience in the sport before I should actually have legitimate recovery issues, legitimate injury issues because of age and things catching up to you. I'm not there yet. I'm just running myself into the ground selectively. And I've put a lot of pressure on myself to do that. But I have to breathe. I have to chill out and treat my career a little bit more as a longer run to establish myself as one of the greatest of all time. And I'm really excited about that shift in mentality. I think I was afraid of the pressure of trying to be the greatest of all time before and get thrust up there and how to do it as quickly as possible. But I think this has made me excited to enjoy the process along the way, where before I was trying to sprint there. I was trying to sprint as much as possible, win everything as quickly as possible, get in, get out, and move on with my life. But it's a part of my life that I really enjoy. So I don't see why I'm putting this time frame on it, why I think triathlons is something that I need to do. I could do a triathlon when I'm 40, when I'm 45. There's no rush. I could do anything that I want to after my strongman career in good time. Now, what it holds for the rest of the year, World Tour Finals, other Giants Live shows, the Rogue Invitational, I'll treat them as they come. If I'm being totally transparent, I think it's more likely than not that I return for the Arnold next year. And I take a good chunk of time, a few months, to just build myself back, to fall in love with training again, to get fit again, to do a lot of grip work training, things that I just am not able to do on a regular basis when I'm prepping for show after show after show. And that's that. So stay tuned for updates. But Strongest Man on Earth is out. Deadlift World Championship is out for now. I am taking a short step back. I'm taking an off season for a couple of months, which it feels strange to announce that I'm taking an off season for a couple of months, but it's something that I've never done. And so I get it. I understand why it's an announcement that has to be made, but in every professional sport, they have an off season. In strongman, we don't, and we have to choose our off season, and I'm choosing that for myself right now. So that's that. Thank you guys very much for watching. As per always, lift heavy, be kind. You're going to see a version of me rebuilt, refocused, re-energized in 2026. And if you thought 2024 was good, wait till you see what's coming.